No, they didn't forget to text you back. They didn't get overwhelmed by work. And no, they didn't lose their phone. They left because they wanted to see if you would still be there when they decided to come back. Now, this part is actually why you're probably watching this video. When they do return, they aren't going to apologize. They're going to convince you that they never left at all. Welcome to the world of ghostlighting, the most calculated evolution of modern dating cruelty. Picture the silence. 3 weeks of it. You've gone through the stages: concern, anger, and finally the quiet acceptance of grief. You've started to heal. Then at 11:14 p.m. on a Tuesday, a text pops up on your phone. Saw this and thought of you. No, I'm sorry, no explanation, and when you finally gather the courage to ask where they've been, the trap snaps shut. They say, I was literally just busy. Why are you making this a big deal? It's nothing personal. Or, I thought we were just taking space. You're being really intense right now. The truth is, you can go on and on with the back and forth arguments, or you can lean in and learn more about this specialized form of psychological skill. While regular ghosting is a cowardly exit, ghostlighting is more. It's about maintaining access to your heart without ever having to pay the rent of accountability. In 2026, research shows that 80% of millennials have been ghosted, but the ghostlighter is a different breed. Psychologically, this person usually falls into the avoidant attachment category or has high traits of subclinical narcissism. Why do they do it? It's called intermittent reinforcement. By disappearing, they starve you of validation. By returning and denying the disappearance, they force your brain to choose between two realities. Your memory is correct and they are liars, or your memory is wrong and they are still the good guy. Because humans have a consistency bias, we often choose option 2, just to keep the relationship alive. We sacrifice our sanity to save the connection. Now let's reframe this situation. Instead of looking at their return as a compliment, start thinking of it as a system check to see if your boundaries are still broken. If they can leave you in the dark and come back without an apology, they officially own the narrative of the relationship. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why did they choose you? You might be sitting there thinking it's because you're too much or too needy, but the psychology of the ghostlighter suggests the exact opposite. Ghostlighters don't target weak people, they target high-resource empaths. In social psychology, there's a concept called the Ben Franklin effect. It suggests that we like people more after we do them a favor. Ghostlighters flip this. They look for someone who has a high capacity for emotional labor, someone who will do the work for both people. They look for the person who says, they're just going through a hard time, or I can help them open up. Before a ghostlighter vanishes, they usually perform a test run. They might go quiet for 2 days instead of 2 weeks. They're watching your reaction. If you respond with concern, are you okay? I was worried. Instead of a boundary, you unknowingly passed their test. You've signaled that your empathy reservoir is deep enough for them to dip into whenever they want, without them ever having to refill it. We also have to look at the environment. These days, dating has become a low-friction sport. The ghostlighter sees people as open tabs on a browser. They don't want to close the tab, break up, because they might want that information later, but they don't want to stay on the page because it requires attention. So ghostlighting you helps them keep the tab open in the background of their life while they surf other sites. It's not that you're not enough for them, it's that you're too convenient to lose, but too real for them to handle. Your reality, your needs, your morning coffee, your bad days requires them to be a real person back. And for a ghostlighter, being real is the most terrifying thing in the world. Now, let's talk about how you actually break the spell, because right now you're trapped in cognitive dissonance. Your brain is trying to hold two opposite ideas. They were so kind to me yesterday, and they haven't texted me in 10 days. This friction is what causes that brain fog feeling. The best way to do so is try out the accountability audit. When they resurface with that "hey" or that random meme, your first instinct will be relief. Your brain will get a hit of dopamine. Stop. Before you reply, ask yourself, if a waiter ignored me for an hour, then brought me a cold appetizer and told me I was crazy for being hungry, would I leave a tip? No, you'd leave the restaurant. You can also introduce the black hole strategy. In physics, a black hole has such strong gravity that nothing, not even light, can escape it. When a ghostlighter returns, give them nothing. No anger, no explanation, no "I'm hurt." Because to a ghostlighter, your anger is still attention. It's proof that they still have a hook in you. When you give them silence, true, permanent silence, you're not ghosting them back. You're simply closing a tab that they forgot to save. You're reclaiming the emotional labor you were spending on them and putting it back into your own life. I know that the hardest part isn't realizing they lied. The hardest part is realizing that the person you were waiting for doesn't actually exist. The ghostlighter is a mirage. They're only present when it's convenient, and they're only kind when they're not being held accountable. You're not difficult for wanting a text back. You're not intense for noticing a month-long disappearance, and you should indeed take it personally. Why? Because you're just a human being looking for a human connection in a digital age that is trying to turn us all into ghosts. So the next time they reappear, let them stay invisible, because the only way to win a game with a ghostlighter is to stop playing. If you want to explore the psychology behind relationships and human behavior, hit the subscribe button below, because understanding these patterns can change the way you see people and protect you from the wrong ones. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.